Griffin Dahlberg here with Twin Cities Peppers. Today we have a gardening tips and tricks video on reusing soil year after year. A few products I want to go over. BioLive, it's a nutrient that, it's a blend of nutrients from Down to Earth. I really recommend Down to Earth, both BioLive and BioFish. So that brings us to our second product, is BioFish. That's going to be outside of the vegetative growth. That's going to help with flower production and thus give you more fruits in the end. So BioLive, BioFish, and then we have Wiggle Worm Soil Builder. It's pure worm castings. We're going to top dress that as well as these two into these pots. And then another one is going to be Happy Frog by Fox Farm. That's what I use. Has some pretty good nutrients in it, and it drains very well. So I'm going to be filling up the pots with whatever this and this and this doesn't fill. So I'll be just filling it up to the top. And then we're going to want to mulch. So there's two types of mulch. I use both. First type is just like a straw or a rice hull or cypress mulch. And then the next kind is a living mulch, so cover crop. So that brings us to another product, which is Build-A-Soil's 5-seed cover crop, I'm pretty sure. It's got a bunch of different types of clover, and what's going to happen with that clover is it's going to grow. We cut it down, and that provides kind of a living mulch. So we're going to be cutting it down once a month or so and continuously feeding the soil. Which brings us to another product, which is going to be worms. I use Triple G's Worm Farm. You get 2,000 worms for $60. Typically you do 50 to 100 worms per pot. I use 25 gallon and 20 gallon pots. So, I'll use probably 40 to 50 in these 20 gallon and 70 per 25 gallon. And what those do now is we're providing these two types of mulch, and we're also providing, we're providing the non-living mulch, which would be your rice hulls, your straw, or your cypress mulch, and then our living mulch, which is going to be your clover blend. The clover blend will grow through, kind of hold down those rice hulls, the straw, whatever you do decide to use. And once a month you're going to cut that down, and it's actually going to feed those worms. If the worms don't have anything to munch on, they're not going to be giving back to the soil, and they're going to eventually be dying off. So we really want to make sure we have something growing on top, or a good continuous layer of non-living mulch for them to eat on. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a humic layer year after year on top of this soil. So we're not going to blend up any of this soil year after year. We're just going to take out the main portion of last year's plant and repot. The worms will actually take care of the old dead roots. They will eat that. That will be good food for them, and that will in turn turn into nutrients for the plants. So it's pretty much, besides these three products, you're giving them free nutrients, and you're not going to need to really give them too much of this. A little goes a long way with this stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys step by step what I do here, and then we can kind of go over it a little bit at the end. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of a jump start and save you guys some money as far as your soil goes. And Lord knows it's very expensive to be buying soil every year. So that's an advantage of no-till gardening. I just got this one set up, so it's not yet established. I'm going to be planting some cover crop and putting a mulch layer over that. This is a new addition for this year, and same with my leafy greens section as well. So we're just going to get right into it, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Alright guys, so I've already put the worm castings down. I need to get some more, so this is one of the pots that I put it in. I kind of stopped there so I could show you guys this process. But here we got our humic layer from last year. You can see we got a nice layer of old mulch, and underneath here is just all worm castings that have actually been made by the worms themselves that are in the pots. I didn't add any worm castings prior to this black stuff on top right now. But what we're gonna do is try to get anywhere from 1/4 inch to an inch, depending on how much you want to spend on worm castings. But you know, my theory is I'm going to actually be buying worms, so I don't really need to add all that worm casting. So I'm going to stick to like 1/4 inch of worm castings on the top of the soil. And then here is our cover crop as well. So it's kind of a good idea to mix this in with the rest of these nutrients if you haven't already. I usually plant cover crop before, you know, early spring, late winter, and then they'll come up when they're ready. And that's what's happening right now with these. But I'm going to put a little bit more in here just to show you guys. And this is actually a 12 seed clover crop. I accidentally said 6 seed. But this is from buildasoil.com, great company. So what I'm going to do here, you can see here we got a bunch of different seed in here. So I'm going to take just about this amount and just carefully spread it over the surface of the soil. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to move on to our BioLive. So our BioLive is roughly 1.5 to 3 cups of BioLive mixed into the top of the soil, and that's usually just what I do. You can follow the directions on the back, but you're going to be using a lot more. So this already has a lot of nutrients from last year. So this in combination with the BioFish will definitely give it enough nutrients, and then we'll continue to top dress as we go throughout the summer. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do 3 scoops. And you guys, this stuff, it's not the most pleasant smell in the world, but you'll get used to it. So there's 1. 2. And 3. We're going to do 2 scoops of the BioFish. And it doesn't smell too good either. You can kind of imagine what it smells like. 1, 2. Put that back in there. And what we're gonna do here, I should be wearing gloves, but I'm cool with my hand kind of smelling like fish for now. So what we're gonna do is just kind of mix this together. Make sure those seeds get in there. Must have had my Aleppo in here last year. Well, we got that mixed up. We're gonna go to our next product, which is our Fox Farm Happy Frog. And like I said, you guys can use any kind of soil. I prefer organic because I'm doing organic no-till gardening, so that's what I'll use here. We're just gonna put enough, leave a little room for a mulch layer. That looks pretty good to me. Okay. At this point in time, I would normally put my layer of mulch on. Alright guys, so we got our mulch. I went and got it at the store yesterday, and I forgot to tell you one thing. The mulch, adding the mulch is pretty straightforward, but if you have old stems from last year, this is what I typically do. Measure out your pot size and then just simply cut around it. You don't want to disturb the soil too much, so we just want to take out what we need to take out, let the worms handle the rest. I'm going to take a knife and just cut around it and simply pull it out. Now you have a perfect hole for your plant. So I usually just put it in a separate container so I can use it to fill in the spots afterwards. The stuff on top that we just added, we can add back to the hole provide extra nutrients in there. And then, yeah, pretty straightforward. We're just gonna plant it from here. You just wanna hold that kind of in place right above the level of the soil, and then backfill using the dirt that you put aside. Make sure everything's even. And there you have it. I'm going to talk about one more thing, which is a RV filter. So RV filters are just, filters for water going into an RV, recreational vehicle. But you can also use them to take out the chlorine in your current water supply from your house. This is a good idea because chlorine will actually kill the microbes in the soil. And the whole point of doing all this is to build a good environment for the microbes to live. So let's not counteract that with chlorine in our water. I use the one from Amazon. I'll show you it right over here. This is what I use. It's the XL version. It lasts about 1.5 seasons usually. So you can find that on Amazon for about 20 bucks. So what I'm gonna do here is give it a nice soaking. Just wanna give it a nice soaking so those seeds can germinate. And if I had the mulch, I'd be soaking that down too, just so it kind of sticks in on the top, has some weight to it, doesn't blow away. And once the living mulch actually starts growing through, it's gonna kind of create a way to hold it down. So give it a nice little soaking. But like I said, rice hulls, straw, or cypress mulch is a really good one. It's going to help with water retention as well as give the worms something to eat and break down. With all this being said, if you guys like this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It helps my channel. And if you want to see any more tips and trick videos, I'll be posting throughout the summer. Again, subscribe to my channel. If you have any requests or anything like that, any questions, you can message me on Instagram at Twin Cities Peppers, or YouTube as well. So hope you guys like this video. One more time, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.